That's a magnet.
All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see everyone popping up in the side chat. We've had a couple people out there, starting with Jamie. We got Vanessa, and we got Dwayne out there. Good to see you. With that being said, Alan, please start us off right, brother.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. How you doing, man?
Well, only the best here at Foreign and Domestic. The fact of the matter is we are so high tech. To play an audio track on the show, we use our cell phones against our microphones. Yes. I'm doing peachy. I've been wrestling with a BMW as usual. Stands for buy more warranties or big Mexican women. Nevertheless, had my 65 hours this week at work. Pretty much no existence other than a slave to the grind, and it is what it is.
Okay, hold on. So when I first came out there last year, and you had this BMW, you told me it was absolutely freaking phenomenal, fantastic, great freaking ride, and I'm all excited to jump in and go for a ride in this thing. And would you like to tell the good people what happened?
That is the very first time I had any problems with this thing. Any problems at all. Wasn't beating on it, wasn't getting on it hard or anything like that. But then for some oddball reason, it threw out that it was overheating. Okay.
You were driving Scotsman's fat ass around. So what do you expect?
So
right,
we're probably
right.
What?
And since then, so I don't know. If I can blame the Scotsman entirely, but I don't, simply because it's a BMW. As I was driving to pick up this thing, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? This is absolutely retarded. I'm really looking to throw money out a window. I'm going to buy a used beat up BMW. That's just the dumbest thing a person can do. And I knew it the entire time.
So
I've had a lot of fun with it until it stopped working. And
you could have got 2 girlfriends for the same price, and one of them would still work.
Oh, maybe, depending upon what side of the tracks I was on, if I'd even bother to want to try to keep one of those. But yeah. So yeah, now I've got it. Now I figured out another issue with it, and once that is solved, I'm pretty positive it's going to be back on the road.
So we were driving probably maybe 10, 15 minutes, something like that, and then it overheated.
Not even really that long.
It was hilarious because Alan was telling me from the get-go, man. He'd been hanging out over at Tack and Brandes for probably a good half hour, 45 minutes before we even took off, telling me about this BMW and how great it was and how fantastic it's driving. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Let's go for a ride. And we get in the thing, and 10, 15 minutes later, it's throwing all kinds of shit and fucking going into, crawl mode. And here's my happy Scottish ass having to walk all the way to the fucking gas station to get water so we can get the fuck back to Tack and Brandes.
Dude, see, that's what happens when you brag or you get all happy about something, start talking, it's never broke down, all that. Man, you're writing your own warrant right there. Yeah,
I really did. I so did, because I was like, it doesn't have any lights on the dash. It hasn't thrown a single code. And yeah. Yeah, I go to show Scotsman. First thing it does is throw a light up on the dash and go into fucking limp mode.
Like when you finally fix something, I don't know, something stupid, and then sticking door or something, go tell your wife, and you go look, and then it sticks again. You know what I mean? So you just don't brag. As soon as you do, Murphy comes out to grab your ass.
Murphy's Law, man. 100%.
Oh man, this is going so well. We're gonna blaze right through this. And the last two take you 3.5 hours.
Yep.
We had gone to go look at fireworks and some other stuff. And yeah, needless to say, we didn't get very far.
So that
there was
Murphy
some fireworks.
That Murphy dude's Irish, right?
Yeah, he is. He's fucking Irish. How'd you know, Jamie?
Just an educated guess.
Yeah, well-educated guess. Yeah, he's fucking Irish. Fucking Murphy. Jamie, how are you doing, man?
Better than I deserve, man. I'm happy today, but I'm not going to be bragging on anything because I'm afraid it'll tear up now.
Yep.
No, you should be happy, man. I know why you're happy.
Yeah, I know you do.
I'm happy for you. I'm not happy because I didn't call you and cost you $100, but
that was a joke, man. You know me, I'm too tight to bet $100 on just about anything.
you know I cover half of it, right?
Yeah, and you know I would if the shoes were reversed, but I will show off a belt buckle, and on the bottom it says the world's finest handguns.
Hold on. All right, there we go. That's better. Damn right.
Pretty crude drawing, but hey, man.
Hey, I'll tell you this: we got a troll up there. I know we do. They're out there almost every week. Uncle Jim, you're welcome.
He's not a troll, man. He's lurking.
He's not a troll, folks. He's one of those guys that thinks Ruger was designed better than Smith & Wesson, and he's wrong. And it's okay. People can be wrong. It's okay.
And he hooks up with big black guys from Chicago.
Big Tyrone, Big T.
Oh my God!
With that being said, we do have the one, the only, the man with the greatest eyebrows on YouTube. Battle Bean, what's going on, man?
Oh man, I'm enjoying this weather. It's more good over here. It's a little hot, but we doing all right. No, man, just enjoying life. Things have been going pretty good. So yeah, no, I just enjoying the Sunday. Today's been really a lazy Sunday. I ain't doing nothing today, other than wash my wife's car. Other than that, I'm good to go.
Glad you're here, man. Always good to see you. Rob, what's happening, man?
Not much, just surviving, dealing with this pain in the ass woman. Still haven't
we all
got
know
the
she's
washer
not in the room when
fixed.
you're saying that.
Yeah, no
Spending
shit. I was gonna say
thousands
Let me ask you, is her name Peg?
Mhm.
No.
Well, she's a pain in the ass. I'm just saying.
Trying to get her going, but anyway, no, just the normal stuff, work, this and that, arguing with code. Got a whole issue going on now where they want a little ass tiny spot like to do a repair on a foundation, and I got to get an engineer drawing, stamp certificate, and whatnot, to submit for court, basically, or not court, for the for code. So the problem with that is like nobody in town. There's out of like what 17 numbers. I think we got in touch with like 4 people, and more than likely the drawing is going to end up costing more than this little repair. So I mean, it's just more government BS. I mean, it's for a customer, so they're the ones really unhappy about it. But it's just some of this stuff is just crazy, man. The crap these government people hoops they got you going through. And I will add, I've done like whole sections, whole walls, half of basements before through the same department, and never needed this paper they're requesting now. So I don't know if it's new or what, or somehow I hit the shit list, but stupid stuff,
Well, you know as well as that, as that damn it. Sorry, folks. Excuse me. I don't know what the hell's going on. You know as well as I do when it comes to building, that shit changes constantly, and it's such a pain in the freaking ass.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with code and you're dealing with inspectors and all the rest of it, especially when you go from state to state. I don't know how much you travel state to state to do work, but I used to go multiple different states to do work. When you're dealing with different codes in this state versus that state, it's a huge pain in the freaking rear end.
And even counties just swapping over to different departments is totally different. So different counties or whatnot. So pain in the butt though. Kind of, shitty deal for the customer because the job basically doubled just to get somebody to draw a picture. So kind of crazy, but so I don't know. But that's the way things go sometimes. So.
Well,
lots of time.
What about what you think it might have anything at all to do with quarterly quota? It's towards the end of the quarter.
No idea. Because like I said, it's a first for me. Now I'm asked to put in like they like drawings on a lot of shit like that. Certain places want to know like how far you are from the curb, from the street. I got to get pictures, or if you use Google in the past. Draw stuff up, but they don't want my stuff to patch a little 3x7 spot. They want I gotta go, pay an engineer.
Well, do you think it's probably you think it's related to your new mayor?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm not in New York City, so that shouldn't have too much to do here, but
yeah, man, you're one geographically challenged fuck, I swear.
It's I don't know. I mean, I Googled it, research, and apparently it's a thing. Because at first I thought they were just straight up screwing with me, but I don't know. It's crazy. One of the first guys I called refused to work here. He's like, no, they just make shit up, which they do. I just battled with them on that last week with a supporting pole that was a whole thing. But anyway, not long ago, but they'll just make shit up to hit you with a fine for it. If you don't know any better, every fine's $1,000. Yeah, per day. So crazy stuff. So I mean, think about where you move. I put it that way. The city versus townships. Like, there's a lot of shit that you just might not consider. Yeah,
that's crazy, man. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's New York, whether you're in the city, not in the city. I'm not surprised. It's fucking messed up. But they try to screw you every which way they can.
They do. It seems to be the case. So, but anyway. So, other than that, doing well. Had a couple salads this week. Scotsman adjusted my name there, but I don't mind. I do love some salads. It's about that, man.
And to be fair, I was very nice with the name adjustment. I could have made it something a lot worse. I was nice.
Yeah, he must be in a decent mood today.
Not really. I've got all kinds of heat issues. I've had a pretty fucked up week, but no, I just I didn't want to be too mean to you, so I was just, I gave you a little bit of courtesy. I would say common courtesy, but I'm not very common and I'm not very courteous.
I had a tossed salad today that was absolutely phenomenal. It was cubed beef cheese with cubed pork and a little bit of chorizo mixed in with that, and just mixed it all up and wrapped it up in an omelet. It was that salad was pretty good.
What was that like an egg salad, kind of?
Yeah, sort of like a it was a mixed salad,
And a
I just,
pasta egg
instead of
salad.
types of lettuce, I used just types of meat.
Yeah.
Yep. I did toss me a salad. I had plenty of meat to it.
Battle Bean, I'm surprised you're not taking full advantage of this one.
I'm sorry. What happened?
He was probably supervising somebody pushing a lawnmower. It's okay.
It's okay. Yes, I'm sorry. I was a little distracted there. All I heard is salads.
Janice Gay just admitted that he had a tossed salad this week.
Oh, he had a masputo salad. All right, good job, man. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, with some kibaso and chorizo and all kinds of good stuff wrapped up in an egg. Actually, like 4 eggs, but
I thought it was something to do with the chick at the parts counter, because you're in there so much lately or trying to get a discount. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
This fool over here, man. Yo, man, the ultimate driving machine has turned out not to be that. How's that?
it's
Hey,
the ultimate
it
parking
works.
machine. It once
It's
it
awesome.
parks, it stays there.
And I'm going to tell you guys the reason why I don't like Mercedes and BMWs. When you get stationed in fucking Germany, out of all places, and all you see are BMWs and Mercedes being taxis, and you ask a German guy, "Hey, what is this better than a Peugeot?" And they're like, "No, not really." But the thing about it is, it's all about nationalization of our products, so that's the reason why we put it everywhere. It goes, but reality, the only good cars that we make in Germany are Porsche. I was like, that makes sense. I like it.
Since we're just telling you, I don't like them because of the price. I think they're fun to drive, but they're priced high. The maintenance is high, and
Yeah,
I'll add it
and
again. The maintenance is extremely high. And
right.
there's no
That's always
reason to pay
Well,
$20 for a pencil. As a
right,
comparison.
and the thing is that German stuff is over engineered. They over engineer everything to the point that if you ever need to get it fixed, you probably need to bring somebody from the actual manufacturer to fix it for you. Because I worked in a lot of industries. They do industrial stuff, and they think they're doing good by buying a German machine, but in the long run, they start to notice how much of a pain they are.
Another shitty factor is all the aluminum, because they typically use like the aluminum K frames and all that shit, like in the rear end for your suspension, your lower control arms, all that. And then obviously there's press bushings and everything goes into those. But when you get like 10 years on a car in the north, that aluminum likes to oxidize like a son of a bitch, and you end up with problems like salt and all that shit. It doesn't hold up well in the north. You see it sometimes. They got them with the aluminum little pads above shock towers. They just literally crumble apart and just they'll just be laying on the ground one day. Like, so that's, yeah, depending where you are and if you work on your own shit. Audis, all those guys are famous for those. But it can be kind of a pain in the ass. Not saying there isn't advantages to it, you know, lighter, all this type of shit, whatever. I'm just saying, you know, as it gets older, it gets not always, you know, you got a bush and a pop out. It could turn out real bad.
Yeah. So I can let me address a couple of things first. So one, BMWs are awesome to drive. They really are. They're fantastic when they run good. You know, again, Alan was bragging how great his was, and we go for a drive and the thing freaking takes a shit. But generally, they are good to drive. I've driven quite a few BMWs over the years, and they are very fun to drive. But on the flip side, same thing with Mercedes. If you ever have to fix one, they're going to cost you out the rear end, and they are nothing but a pain in the ass. And they are a huge pain in the ass.
And I can tell you this because my brother had a M3 a while back, and he was shocked when they told him that you know, part of the brake job is you have to replace the disc. So not only are they replacing the you know, the pads or whatever, they replaced the whole freaking disc. And at that time, he paid what you would pay for, like, if you're doing like some serious work on your car for a brake job. And that's when he said, "Yep, it's time for me to go."
While I was having some breakfast with friends of mine this morning, they were talking about how many cars they've owned in their lives. And one of the people said, you know, I've owned 4 cars and they're in their mid 40s. I'm like, what? Another guy is like, yeah, he's like, yeah, that vehicle out there, that's the 6th vehicle I've ever owned in my life. He's in his 50s. I'm like, man, I've had
How long have they been
13
driving?
2-wheel drive Toyota pickup trucks in my life. Just 2-wheel drive Toyota pickups. To name all the different cars that I have owned, and you know, it would take quite some time.
I would wonder when they started driving. Obviously, older people usually started younger. You know, shit, I legally started at the legal age I could, and got a car at that age as well. Had at least one ever since, but some people don't get a license till they're 20, 30. You know what I mean? Didn't really have a need, or their husband always drove them, or whatever the case is. So I would be curious what they were driving. I don't doubt it though. I mean, I've owned my truck for 20 years, and it's a 30-year-old truck. So, you know, yeah, you throw 2 of those together, and you basically got me. So, you know what I mean? It's so I could definitely see it being a thing, but
Well,
definitely, yeah, more detail.
The big thing there is working on your own stuff. So many people nowadays are too lazy, and I got to take it in for an oil change. I got to take it in for this. I got to take it in for that. Instead of doing it at home, it's not that hard. And you number one, you save a lot of money. Number two, you know exactly what's being done because you're doing it. I hate taking my truck anywhere. I don't want to take it anywhere.
Chessboard, you have just totally smoked me out of the water. I mean, I've had a lot of vehicles in my life.
Damn.
I've had one brand new drive it off the lot vehicle. But damn, 22 new vehicles in 78 years. That's impressive.
Damn.
It's pretty good. I think I've had like 15 or something, so I might be creeping up on them. But to my defense, for a while there, I didn't know shit. You know, I didn't know shit about cars. I had to learn all that shit as I went. So
No, like
anything past an oil change or plugs or the bare minimum, you know. So I'd get a new car every tax time, sometimes twice a year for a little while.
I'd done the bare minimum work back home because I really didn't drive a whole lot back home. You know, buses were available, trains were available everywhere. So I didn't really necessarily have to drive a whole lot back home. But when I came here, obviously, you know, shit's a lot further apart and all that, so you have to drive, right? And so, you know, I learned a lot of shit here of working on stuff, and it was all right. Well, you know, again, I want to learn this and do this myself. I don't want to pay someone to do it. I'd rather do it myself. I know it's done right. I know what's going into it, instead of taking it somewhere and hoping that it's right and hoping that, you know, when I drive halfway across the country that my shit don't fall apart. You know, I much prefer to do stuff by myself and do it that way. So I always took the time, you know, did the research, figured out what I had to do. You know, I had some good people show me different things over the years, you know, walk me through stuff and all the rest of it. And yeah, if I can do it, I'll do it. If I have to take it somewhere, I will, but I really do not want to take it anywhere if I can avoid it.
Yeah, I think I might be closer to 20. I've had a few vehicles just given to me, and you know, one I've scrapped, one I sold. I think like 2 I scrapped. I don't know. So, and another one I got on my way to work. They said a fuel pump died. I went and picked it up after work, drove it home fine. Might have needed a fuel pump, I don't know, but it worked fine for me. And I ended up selling that before the next day. So I don't know. I've been through a few myself.
All right, let me address something else out there. We have Daniel is out there and he's crying for attention. He's crying hard. He's putting multiple comments out there and he's crying. He's even texted me crying like a little bitch. You're not paying attention to my comments, this, that, the other. All right. Well, pay attention to your comments. You can stop crying. It's okay. Take a little butt hurt.
Guy have a link?
You know, he's got a link. He can jump in.
So he did everything but jump in here to get your attention.
He's been a little bitch.
Geez, Daniel, come on, man.
Sitting in the sidelines, crying, texting me, crying again. You know, it's just Daniel with the ambulance is real, and Daniel's
what's so important. You had to stop the whole damn show and derail the genius conversation that was going on. Jamie was going to hit us with a bomb. You know, he was about to just enlighten us on the world issues, but what's he got?
He's so upset. He's so upset that when I was out visiting Hillbilly, that I shot a Glock.
Oh, well, I can kind of understand that.
Well,
I mean,
but
you talk a lot of shit, man.
But
you're out there shooting Glocks.
Well,
I seen that video. So
well, here's the thing,
hopefully you took like 3 showers, wearing gloves.
Every single person that saw that video saw immediately after I fired one round, the freaking thing locked up like a piece of shit that it is.
Weren't you limp wristing it?
How can you limp wrist a 22, bitch?
Oh man, that's like pouring gas on a fire right there.
The most hilarious thing of it is I'm sitting there looking at it, and the Hillbilly goes, "Oh, that round's different from the other ones that are in there. It's got to be the round." Every time I've ever had a single fucking malfunction with a Glock, the owner goes, "Oh, it's the ammo. It's the ammo." Dude, it's the fucking gun. It's a piece of shit.
Wait a minute, though. You actually hit, though, with the Glock. Didn't you miss with everything else?
I didn't miss with everything else. Thank you very much. But I was actually able to put 2 rounds where I was actually fucking aiming.
Hey, why did you
that's something. Like his Beamer, when it works, man.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this, and just to make it even worse for you. You actually like the Glock. You just don't want to submit it. You know, it's okay. It's all right.
Ooh.
You shot it. You shot it well. It's okay.
I never liked that Glock 22. Just the design, and that's just me. But hey.
Okay, let's get one thing straight. I shot it. I didn't shoot it well. I got 2 rounds on target. That's not shooting it well. Did it feel better?
Weren't you complaining about the wind and then the sights off and this and that with every other thing you were shooting in that video?
Every other gun that was handed to me had red dots on them, and they were all off. They were not on.
Oh, so now you're saying hillbilly. All his shit's jacked.
You go watch the fucking video. Hillbilly.
So the guy invites you over, lets you shoot his shit, and then all you're gonna do is talk shit about it, huh?
I'm aiming way to the fucking left by like fucking 3 feet to fucking get it to hit the fucking can. So yeah, I was way off, but.
Damn, somebody's getting defensive. Shit.
This picky son of a bitch, He even picked up salsa for you to shoot.
No, he didn't. Amy did. His wife picked up the salsa for us to shoot.
Well, that's nice of her.
She wanted to make sure we had plenty of stuff to shoot when I got there. They were both very good and had plenty of stuff there, plenty of food and all the rest of it. And we're very gracious hosts.
I wouldn't expect anything other from Hillbilly. Honestly, would.
No,
he just comes across as that. If he's going to allow you to show up, he's going to be cool. That's what.
They were very gracious hosts. We had a really good time. Obviously, the reason I was out there was not for a good time, but I was out there hanging out with Hillbilly and his wife, and they were nothing but gracious. And we the one night we went out, we were playing pool for probably 2-3 hours with the rest of his family that was out there, and yeah, it was good, man. Good time.
Whoa. Scottish people play pool?
I'm damn good at pool, motherfucker. You want to play me? Let's play.
Well, isn't that kind of weird if everybody's wearing a kilt and shit? I mean,
you ain't supposed to look up at motherfucker.
I don't know, but I mean, you just turn your head and there's like, what the hell, dude? That's not the bar I want to be at. That's all I'm saying.
Again, you ain't supposed to look up at. I will refer to my kilt-wearing brother, my good brother, Alan, who also wears a kilt and understands this exact thing of what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when Scotsman gets a free drink handed to him, he just flips his hair a little bit, doesn't he?
I'm thinking
okay.
It's the beard. He's got to flip the beard.
Okay.
That's the thing. If everybody's wearing a kilt while you're shooting pool, it ain't no big deal, bro.
What? Alan used to do Locks of Love. I'm not even close to getting there to where I could even cut something off to call it Locks of Love and hand it over. So don't even go there. Not even close.
Yeah, but I'm really liking that stubble. I'm telling you. Looking good, Alan.
Man, I just, it pains me to have to actually cut it off my face on a regular basis. I absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it. But
all right, TJ, we're gonna have to address this and stop this right here now and then. You call it address again, we're gonna have to boot you off, man. You're my brother from across the pond, just like me. But dude, It's not a dress, and you know better. So let's just stop that right now.
Oh,
Besides, man, people start buying you drinks, you might wear a kilt too.
You'd be surprised what the Australians will do once you start buying them drinks. They
Oh,
say
absolutely.
they can handle their alcohol, but they're nothing compared to a Scotsman or an Irishman.
Getting an
I don't know, they could
Australian
probably
drunk
handle
is
that.
sort of like letting a Marine get bored. You don't want to let a Marine get bored.
good call. That's when shit blows up, right?
How y'all know that?
Speaking of butthurt people out there, again, here we have Daniel being butthurt.
I didn't know we were talking about that.
I mean, apparently he's really kind of butthurt because we wouldn't acknowledge his first few comments in the chat.
Yeah, you ain't that special anymore.
So he doesn't even show up here with us. He just wants to be out there and talk shit. So,
I'd be their designated driver or whatever. I think that shit would be funny as hell. The reactions from people and stuff. Hell yeah.
Alan's been here before, and we've walked into restaurants, and Alan's, open carry, walking in with a kilt. And the amount of people that just kind of stop and look is fucking hilarious. And obviously it's not because he's wearing the kilt. He's wearing the kilt and open carry, and everyone just stops and freaking just their jaws drop. It's fucking hilarious.
Seems like when you wear anything out of normal, people pay attention. Even if you don't normally dress up or whatever, you dress up, wear a suit, people they're a lot nicer. They open the door for you and shit like that instead of running away. It's weird, but just that little appearance thing does a lot out in public.
Well, yeah, just wearing a kilt. I'll tell you though, it doesn't matter where you go. The comments that you'll get are almost always going to be from women. Women love it, man. Women love it.
Yeah, they want a girlfriend.
He's not wrong. Like, seriously. So I was talking to this girl one time, and we were just getting to know each other, and she's like, where are you from? And I'm like, well, originally I'm from Scotland. She's like, oh, really? Yeah. And we start talking a little bit more, and we get into the fact, I got kilts and that. And she's like, oh, you do? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I wear them traditionally, if you know what that means. And all I get back is the wink. So yeah, she knows what it means, and she was happy to know what it means.
Okay. So you got to watch out for those ladies with mirrors on their shoes.
Yeah, they don't need them, man.
I don't necessarily recommend riding a motorcycle in a kilt.
Yeah, that's tough.
You imagine the looks we'd get. No, you gotta picture the three of us, them two in kilts, and my, whatever ass from New York, walking into a bar where it would be cool to wear a kilt, and then you see me there, like, it just the looks, the stares, that they'd be getting stared at funny, I'd be getting stared at funny. It'd be an interesting time.
I mean, you get stared at funny no matter where you go.
Sometimes, especially if I pop into like a random place like that to eat or something. So I've gone to some crazy places, I guess. But to be fair, in some cases, I didn't even know things were like that. Like, it was a skinhead bar or whatever, and everybody knew but me. honestly, I had a good time, you know. So, like people treating me. I got a lot of looks, but once I had a couple conversations, they were like, "Oh, he's okay," you know. It was a good time.
You be like the Dave Chappelle blind man guy.
Get him.
There's nothing funnier, and Rob can attest to this. There's nothing funnier than going to eat with Kingpin, because if you fuck up Kingpin's order, your day's done. It's all over. Have fun.
What you do is you whisper to the waitress.
The fucking show.
What you do is you whisper to the waitress, "Put extra mayonnaise on it."
Dude, they messed up his freaking burger, and it was fucking hilarious. He called him straight up. He's like, "No, this is not what I ordered," and sent it back. And they took the shit off and sent the same fucking burger back out. And he's like, "Dude, you literally just fucking took it off of it and sent it right back to me."
What did he expect?
Fucking fuming.
I think he just wanted like hamburger.
He just wanted a freaking burger and cheese, dude. He didn't want nothing else.
Like that's it. Something like that.
And they loaded it up. Had everything on there.
Yeah, and then just wiped it off or tried to with a napkin or something.
They took it back. They took it back and they scraped all the shit off and sent it back out. It's like, dude, you literally just scraped it all off. Like, no, this is not acceptable.
You see, I've known a bunch of people in fast food and shit, and my rule, like if something seriously screwed up or whatever, like if it's seriously screwed up, I might say something, but I'm just leaving. Like I don't want you to fix it because you're probably gonna do something horrible to it. So, any kind of major complaints, I just don't go back there. That's why it's rare I go back to a place. It honestly is. So I got a few good places, but as soon as you start bitching, some of these people get so petty, man. Like you don't want that. You're better off just getting something somewhere else because those fast food workers, man, they do some nasty shit. Yeah, they honestly do. So, and they can say, "Oh, they don't," but I mean, think of the average person. Does the average person even wash their hands after the bathroom? When they're scratching their ass, doing all this shit, and now piss this person off. Yeah. It's not good.
So Alan, have you ever had a yellow jacket up your kilt?
No, I can't say that I have. Yeah, riding a motorcycle on a kilt. I tried it once, and we'll never do it again. Yeah, it just.
I've never been on a motorcycle, and I'm fortunate enough I've never had a yellow jacket fly up my kilt either. So.
I have a story.
Sounds like a crazy way to get a black eye.
I have a story if you want to hear it.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
On my way home, I'm a traditional biker. I wear jeans, boots, long sleeves, leather vest most of the time, unless it's just sublime hot, and a helmet. I'm on my way home from work. There's a 3-way stop down below the house. Like this, I'm coming this way, motorcycle coming this way off the side of the road. Motorcycle's running. He's off the bike with his kickstand up. Okay, this guy's wearing flip-flops, cut off blue jeans, a tank top, and a skull cap.
Cut off blue jeans?
Yeah.
That's a red flag right there for a man.
They're not even cut off blue
jeans shorts.
They're short.
Cut off?
Blue jeans short. Not cut offs, hemmed up, baggy, all that. All right. and I stop, and I'm being a biker. You know, you obviously want to help a fellow biker that's having any kind of issues, and I roll the window down. I said, "You okay, man? You need some help?" He said, "A hornet flew up my shorts." And I said, "Sorry, I
Oh
can't
man.
help you with that one, man. You're on your own, brother."
Yeah.
And I laughed, rode off. Anyway, guys, when it comes to riding motorcycles, I know it's a cliche, but you dress for the slide, not for the ride.
I'd agree. I think it's crazy. The flip flops. If you got to put your foot down, 'cause it's not always you. It's usually the other people on the road, the car that didn't see you, or this or that. Like that's just.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
don't
don't even
know if
agree. I don't even agree with people like riding a motorcycle without like boots on, dude. Like, ugh.
it's crazy. The road rash people get, like, I mean, if you're around people that have ridden and you see this shit, like the ooze and pus and shit just bubbling and dripping out of your skin for weeks, and that's like the burn that just stays there. It's no good, man. It's it only takes once to learn a lesson. I can put it that way in that sense. And I'd say the same shit for a helmet. Like, just test ride and ride around the block. Most accidents happen closest to home, man. Like, if it's not a bug getting in your face, some asshole cuts you off. Just, I don't know. To each their own, I guess, but I wear a helmet.
Yeah. To your statement of most accidents happen at home, I've seen it. My good buddy, he got himself a bike, and this is quite a few years back now, but he got himself a bike and got it home, and I went over to see it, and he was showing it to me, and he went to fire it up and went to back it out and toppled it right over. And got it back up.
Shit to get you.
Got it back up. Get her and going, ready to show me again, and topple it again. It's if you're not used to it, it's a lot of weight. If you're not used to it, shit's gonna happen, and typically it's gonna happen when you're starting out brand new and don't know.
So my son wanted to learn to ride, and I'm like, okay, come on. So he came outside, put the kickstand up, lowered the bike on its side, just dropped it. I'm like, pick it up. When you pick it up, we'll talk about riding. He still never learned to ride a motorcycle. And he turns 40 this June.
Wow. I've gotten all my kids into it, but they had quads, or I'd gotten them quads, but I had a dirt bike. All the people we rode, kids had dirt bikes, so they've I wouldn't call them riders or whatever, but they've ridden one, So then my daughter, ended up wanting to get a bike, so she did. And she got a bike that was way too big. She went out and did all this with her friends, of course. So, just putting around the parking lot, T-boned it. I think she broke her arm, leg, something. And then, it wasn't too long, a year later, something like that. Car didn't hold its lane around the corner, and she biffed it on the corner trying to not get hit by the car. Broke something else, so but just not good. So got to be careful out there, So some people, I think, just really aren't, I don't know. You got to know yourself, I don't even we don't even want to ride with her in a car. I'll put it that way. So her getting a bike wasn't advised. But
Jane, can you answer this question?
Most better bikes nowadays have what they call a heel toe shifter. You instead of just the prong out front like most of your dirt bikes and smaller bikes, they actually have a hinge that goes both ways. They had a peg in the back and a peg in the front, and you just kick the crap out of them. Especially if it's a Harley, you gotta love that chunk when that transmission goes in a Baker
Yeah.
5 speed.
The first time I did it on my Harley, I thought I broke something, but that's just normal.
Yeah, this guy I know had a Gold Wing, and you got to understand Gold Wing riders are totally different. And he switched to Harley, and I don't know what he was thinking about. But 2 weeks after he got it, he takes his bike into the dealership, and man, it makes this noise, 30 to 35, maybe up to 40 right before I shift. It's a weird noise. And the guy gets on it and rides it. And he says, okay, if you want to leave it, you can leave it, but I don't hear anything wrong with it. He said, okay, if there's nothing wrong with it, I'll drive it home. 3 weeks later, he goes back to the dealership. He says, man, that noise is getting worse and worse and worse. And he says, and not just that, I'm feeling something a little odd when I'm idling. It's, you know, I know it vibrates. It's a Harley, but it's got a weird shake at certain RPM levels and stuff. And the guy says, okay, I'll test drive it. He takes it down the road a couple of miles, brings it back. He said, man, there ain't nothing wrong with this bike. That's the way it's supposed to run. That's the way it's engineered. He says, okay, I'll drive it home. Third time he brings it back and he leaves it and comes back a couple of weeks later. And the guy at the dealership, service manager this time, he says, we've tested your bike extensively. What we recommend for you is you get headphones and connect them to your stereo, crank it up, and ride the hell out of your motorcycle.
And this guy was coming from a Gold Wing.
From a Gold Wing to a Harley.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Gold Wings are
this
nice.
is where I throw in. Yeah, the Gold Wing just is dependable, reliable. You know, runs the same. Just it's like the rock. You know, so to switch to a Harley that's rattling, vibrating, and all this shit. I mean, you know, the guy kind of went from a Cadillac to a Harley. So
yeah,
you know, in defense of it, the guy bought the wrong damn bike. You know, for what he wants. Not that anything's wrong with the Harley. It's just a different experience. You know, from the Gold Wing.
My brother bought a Gold Wing, and he said one time I was cruising. I came up to the light and I came up to the stop, and I about forgot to put my feet down because it just feels like you're cruising a back allowance.
Yeah.
You also got to remember they've got these
Cadillac
6-cylinder Honda car motors on them. They'll flat fly, and they're smooth as silk, but run like a sewing machine.
Yep.
But, Harley Davidson is built for a culture and a lifestyle. If you want a bike to ride comfortably cross country, get yourself a Gold Wing. It'll last 250, 300,000 miles properly maintained. A Harley, after you get around 80 to 120,000 miles on it, you need to learn how to work on a Harley if you're going to keep it. Most folks don't, though. They go trade it in on a new one, and then guys like me and Scotsman and Rob go buy the 6-year-old Harley, take it home, take it apart, fix it, put it back together, and ride the crap out of it.
Well, and you need to understand, they're going to be loud. This is what they are. They're loud.
That's the way they're designed to be.
It's different styles. You know, I mean, there's across the bike world, there's a lot of different, I mean, especially now, I mean, I can't keep up with some of it, but there's a lot of different segments and stuff. And in my opinion, a lot of them are like Jeeps. They'll do a lot, but they don't do any of it great. You got to go to a specialty item one way or the other to get, the greatness. But yeah, it all depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for a nice all around, there's a big variety of stuff. But it's almost like picking a pet. Like you don't just pick up whatever cute dog. You got to make sure that dog's, gonna fit into your lifestyle. It's not super high maintenance and you sit around all day. It's gonna be a bad fit. So you got to pick the right vehicle for your needs. I don't know, for the style of riding you want when it comes to bikes, I guess. Or, you can go with the safe bet on a lot of things and just go with a basic Honda, whether it's off road or what, they're built for the majority of people. But
Yamaha V-Star,
you will get picked on in certain fields. So, there's different aspects of things.
I think regardless of what you're looking at or what you're into, I think the basis of where we're going, especially what we've been talking about from the beginning of the chat, is know how to work in your own stuff. And if you don't know, figure it out. Go learn it. It's not that hard. Get out there. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there. Learn how to work on your own stuff and figure it out. Especially if you're going to buy like a BMW or Mercedes and along those lines, you need to be able to do
Alan
that.
knew. He knew on the drive there.
Just the parts alone on a Beamer or a Mercedes, the parts alone are going to cost you out the rectum. So yeah, if you don't know how to work out on your own, you're going to be paying a shit ton in labor.
Well, not only that, but I mean, that's what got me into knowing how to build ARs, knowing how to build AKs, knowing how to work on numerous different types of pistols, revolvers, semi-autos. Is, you don't want to have to pay somebody every single time you want something worked on. You have a better understanding of the machine when you know how to work on it yourself.
Yep.
Well, that's a prerequisite, Alan. To be able to work on something efficiently, you need to understand how it's supposed to work. If you don't know how it's supposed to work, you're not going to know how to make it do what it's supposed to do.
A lot more difficult to do so.
Yeah. Chessboards says he's got a 2005 V-Star 1100. Those are pretty cool bikes, man. Garage guy's got an 02 Yamaha golf cart.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, those V-Stars, they're pretty close to the, I wouldn't call them a golden,
they're not a Harley, but they're wannabe Harley. Yeah, they're comfortable, and what I do like about them the most is that they're well engineered, and the parts are not super expensive, man.
What are we talking about? The V-Stars?
The V-Star, yeah.
Yeah, V-Star.
Those, yeah. What the Harley guys call rice burners, all the Japanese bikes, Hondas, Yamaha, Suzuki's, all that. You change oil in one place. You drain the oil and you're replacing the oil in the motor and the transmission. Harley, when you do a service on a Harley, you've got to change the oil in the primary drive, the motor, and the transmission. So you've got 3 different oils. The primary drive you only have to do every 15,000, I think, maybe 20,000. The other 2 need it at 3 to 5, depending on what kind of oil you're running, what you feel safe for your bike.
Now, the main crankcase in most Harleys is kind of self-draining. So
I'd say this explains a lot. Like all the Harley guys got bad backs and they're all pissed off.
Yeah, if you're leaking and messing up your garage floor, you need to work on your bike.
Yeah, everybody invested in the lift because man, the way they engineered changing the oil in a Harley fucking sucks, man. I hate it. But once you get the hang of it and stuff like that, you're good to go. But yeah, I'm not crazy about the engineering that Harley does. I think the way they do it like that is so you take it to a dealership and you don't have to mess with it. I honestly think that's the
Right.
reason why they do what they do.
I got into like quads and stuff is kind of more like on the sports side of stuff. But one thing I will say I've learned over the years and having kids with machines and stuff, uh, man, oh man, durability. Durability is key. When you got 3, 4 machines and your whole weekend's planned and all of a sudden one goes down, you lose a chain here, you got a kid crying over there. Holy shit, man. When you talk about money and pain in the ass and inconvenience, you know, uh, buy quality shit. Don't buy those Chinese 4-wheelers or none of that shit or nothing. I mean, if some people like working on shit and some people like riding it. So keep that in mind when you're shopping.
Well, and I would say the other part to that too is keep parts on hand. You know something's going to happen, so have parts on hand. It's just like a lot of us build guns and ARs and all the rest of it. I've got plenty of spare parts because you never know what's going to happen.
Some brands are known to be fussier than others. It's like supercars and stuff. Like they're not the most reliable.
I have an ammo can. I call it Oops Cam. And if you've never built an AR, then you won't understand. But if you've built an AR, you'll know exactly what the Oops Can is. And the Oops Can is simply a bunch of extra springs and other parts that could potentially go flying across the room. And that's exactly why it's called the Oops Can. So yeah, if you've never built one, you don't understand. If you built one, you'll understand. But I have an Oops Can, and it's full of spare parts just in case. Thankfully, over the years, I've only ever had to go into the Oops Can twice. But it's there for a reason, and it's saved me time and money over the years. So,
actually sell Oops kits now. I've got one of those.
They do, but I'd rather build my own.
Has one. Yeah, just because it is all those little springs and pins and whatnot where you drop it and you're kind of screwed. So
I think
it comes with gas rings as well, new set of rings. I'm not sure. It's got a few things. It's worth having.
When I built my first AR was an AR-10, and it took me 2.5 years. And I walked you guys through their journey, and there's plenty of videos out there about it. But it's 2.5 years. It's 2.5 years because
you chiseled it out of stone.
I was spending money on good parts. I wasn't just buying random ass shit. I was buying good quality parts, and so yeah, it was taking a little bit of time because I was spending money. But when I started assembly, I did have, or what I thought happened was I thought I had a spring go shoot flying across the room. And after 2 hours of searching in the carpet, I realized that the only piece that had gone flying out of the firearm was not the spring, but it was just the little piece of metal that sits on top of the spring, and the spring was still sitting inside the receiver. But this is why we have these types of kits, because you never know, man. And ever since then, I built my own kit and have it on hand just for that reason alone. Because I don't want to spend 2 fucking hours crawling along carpet going, I think I lost a fucking spring when the spring's right there.
Looking like a crackhead for a rock.
Oh, dude, I felt so fucking stupid, too. I literally did. I'm sitting there going, you got to be fucking shitting me. I literally thought the thing would fly out the freaking receiver. I looked at the receiver like 10 fucking times, didn't see the fucking spring, and went everywhere for it for 2 fucking hours. And then I finally go back, I pick it up, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, it's
That
so
correlates back to a way to bikes or quads, things like that. I've had to drive like 30 miles to go pay $8 a bolt for some grab bar bolts that rattled out. And it's a special thread, so you couldn't just go to the hardware store and pick it up and shit. So, and you learn to Loctite your bolts down, but same type of thing. Just have extra stuff. You can get kits for your car, all those little pins, the little plastic ones that probably pissed you off at some point in your life. Door panels, anything that clips into your car, your bumpers, all that shit. You can get a whole kit for your car for like $25 online. Not that I'm selling anything, YouTube, but I'm just saying, like, little things like that, they're good to have.
Oh yeah, man. I don't even know how many ARs I've built. I've lost count. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, I've built a ridiculous freaking amount of ARs over the years. Hang on. All right, so we got an email from Chessboard. I'm going to pull this up here, so you guys can see it. Let me get here we go. Present. Yeah, here we go. So this is Chessboard's. This is Chessboard's bike. That's pretty freaking nice, man. Yeah, that's
very nice. Very cool.
Yeah. And that is, let me pull it up here and I'll look and see what he said it was again. He didn't put it in there, but yeah, that's a cool bike, man. Very, very cool. Yeah, no, Chessboard. Yeah, it was a 2-hour lasting, man. Again, first time doing it, and this was many years ago, but yeah, first time doing it many years ago, and that was a lesson, and that's the lesson that I learned was have spare parts, and that's why I made the Oops can. And I've only ever had to dive into the Oops can once since I made that Oops can, but it's good to have just because you never know.
Or Oops bag, whatever. Yeah, I got a Ziploc bag full of
whatever you can put together. I did the can simply because I when I buy stuff. And I've been building stuff over the years. I'll buy certain things, and certain parts don't always necessarily get used. And so I just throw them in that can as well. So I got spare triggers, I got spare springs, I got this, that, the other. It all just goes in that can. I've bought a lot of different things over the years and bought a lot of aftermarket parts. So when I buy the aftermarket parts, all the other factory stuff that I have will go in that can too, and that way. If I ever need it, it's right there.
And the trick to that is labeling it. Like, if you use a bag or whatever, mark it. Obviously, all your packages in there are all marked. So you know exactly what it was, what it is. Makes getting things a lot easier. Yeah, that's one thing I think a lot of people kind of lack is organization. That's how you end up buying the same damn thing 3 different times, and you always find it after you come home with a new one. Mark your stuff, get a little bin, some kind of system.
Yeah, no, it's good to have a system, man. Especially if you're doing a lot of them, it's good to have a system. we talk about it a lot when we're reloading. We myself and I know Jamie and some other guys out there do the same thing. But typically, I'll leave the can of powder, or I'll mark the powder drop of what powder I'm using, so I know what's in there, what's going on with it. That way, there's no mistaking what's going on, where I'm at, what I'm doing. Because a lot of times, especially for me, a lot of times I do it in stages. I don't always do it all in one go, so I do it in stages. The majority of the final process is all typically one stage, but the prep stage I'll definitely do in maybe 2 or 3 stages, depending on what I got going on. So when I get to the final stages of stuff, I want to make sure I've got the right powder. I want to make sure I got the right grain, all of that. So it's either marked on there what's going on, or the powder bottle itself is sitting right there, so I know what powder is in my press.
Talking about gun parts, I have an old tackle box that I use for gun parts. All the different compartments. Just throw a little label in there, and if you need something, and I guess all of us have accumulated. Excuse me. I guess all of us have accumulated spare mil spec triggers.
Oh yeah, I got quite a few of those. Got quite a few, a little bit of everything, man. I do have my junk drawer in there. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh man, look, I didn't have to buy one. Damn it, I bought one.
Yeah, I got like a shelf I use for most of that stuff, but sometimes you might not use it, or even just different mounts for things. You don't use it all the time. Sometimes you set things up for what you're going for. But
And
still got your accessories.
you really don't know how much crap you got until you start doing spring cleaning or you move. That's when
Yeah.
you know how much crap you actually accumulate
No,
over you.
I can attest to the fact that I know how much crap I got right now, Bell Bean. And I say this because y'all got to remember, over the years, I was able to toss everything in the back of my truck and go. There ain't no way in hell I'm tossing everything in the back of my truck and going at this point. I have accumulated way too much shit over the last 5 or 6 years, and there ain't no way in hell it's fitting in the back of a truck.
Now, is that a pro or a con? Because I've been struggling with that myself.
Well,
even my tools alone, I couldn't move in my vehicle. So it's like, I like the light footprint too, but what do you do in that situation?
So it's a bit of both. So Rob, there for a while, I was working as a contractor on the side at the same time as doing my regular job for quite a few years. And so I acquired a bunch of tools. And when I acquired all those other tools that was needed for doing these different jobs, I acquired a new tool chest and all the rest of it to house those tools. And then on top of that, of course, you end up buying more tools because you get the tool chest, so you want to fill the tool chest, and so on and so on and so on, right? They've all paid for themselves. Like every single tool I've ever bought is paid for themselves. There's probably a half dozen tools I have that maybe not paid for themselves yet. But in general, 99% of the tools I've bought over the years have all paid for themselves.
Me too.
Yeah,
storing, transporting, if you move, does that come into consideration? Like,
Right. So there's a lot that comes into play with all that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, You got all the other guns that I bought over the years that I've acquired over the 5-6 years I've been right here where I'm at now. I think I've been here about 5 years now. You got to think all the guns I've acquired since then. Then I got another safe. I got another safe last year. And I got a bunch of guns that filled that safe last year too. So yeah, man, it's one thing after the other. But again, I'm not mad about it. It's just there's no way it's gonna do what it used to do, which is fit in the back of my truck and go. If I'm moving, I'm gonna need something pretty big behind the back of my truck to get all the shit I got.
It's baggage. I mean, it's great when you need it. Like an example, I've got like 2 wheelbarrows outside. Like, do I use 2 wheelbarrows on a regular basis? No. I do occasionally when I need them. I need them. I got an engine lift. Like, do I use that on a regular? I hope to never need to use that. I've used it a few times, but it's just shit you're storing. Like, when you need it, it's worth it, but you might sit on it for years and never need it. So it's are you paying extra to store that? Does it justify holding it? Should you just buy a new one? I don't know. It's a lot of struggles when you start adding space up and
So let's address a couple comments out there. So Bama Dad is someone who's big on Dylan presses too, and has a lot of Dylan equipment. And then Alan has Dylan, and says that Dylan's always treated him well, but always makes him pay the shipping. Dylan is fucking horrible for that. So when I first got my Dylan press, I ran it just as I got it. I never had the case feeder or anything like that. And I ran it without that case feeder for probably 3-4 months. And I'm like, I need the case feeder. It's stupid. I need the case feeder. And so I bought the case feeder. I finally got the case feeder. I get it all set up. And I think I get like half a dozen cases fed before the thing shuts off. And here I am. I'm calling Dylan on the phone like, hey, I literally just got this fucking thing and it died. And the guy is like, what do you mean it just died? I'm like, dude, I got half a dozen cases shot down the freaking tube and the thing fucking died. He's like, all right, here's your tracking number and this, that, the other. We'll send you a new one. You got to pay the shipping. And we'll send your return label for the one you have, but you have to pay the shipping on the new one. I'm like, what? Like, I'm literally fucking exchanging this and you want me to pay shipping? Like, yeah, you have to pay shipping. Like, dude, your product's fucking defective.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
No, they made me pay shipping, dude. They made me fucking pay shipping. Even though their product was fucking defective, I still had to pay shipping.
Yeah, but like let's say you initially buy a Dylan product, I would tell you guys to look at Shields and buy it from there because Shields does have free shipping. So, like, let's say you would have bought that case feeder, if you bought it from Shields, you probably got a free shipping. Save yourself like $40 right there.
All right. See, here's the thing, Fuzz. Any of us that have not gotten married or have already happily been divorced over the years know not to get married again. There's that. Been there, done it, ain't doing it again.
So what you need to do, Scotsman, is paint that press like some other color. Paint it orange or paint it some other, so nobody knows.
It's not gonna make a difference when I gotta call Dylan and go, hey, your shit ain't fucking working.
Well, I know, but now that you're stuck with that, they made you pay shipping instead of advertising for them. Just make it the Scotsman vice and paint it all Scotsmanish.
I mean, we could tartan it up. I mean, I'm not opposed to our tartan press.
Hook it all up that way, when people see it in the background, they're not like, oh man, I need a Dylan because Scotsman's running a Dylan and I want to be as cool.
No, we could definitely tartan it up. I don't know how well it would go, but we can try it.
I think honestly, when you buy a Dylan, you know what the hell you're getting yourself into. I mean,
Well,
honestly,
you know, when I bought my 650, I'd done a bunch of research on it already, and I saw people complaints about powder spillage, problems with it lining up all the time, problems with the primers flipping over backwards, so on, so on. And when I got mine, I fully expected I was going to walk into problems. And right off the rip, day one, sure as shit, things ain't lining up right. And primers keep flipping over. And I did a bunch of more research, and I came across an upgrade kit on eBay. I think it was like $35, something like that. So I bought the upgrade kit. And for those that are wondering what the upgrade kit was a different spring, a different ball bearing, and there was something else in there. I forget what it was. But I changed out those 3 different things, and it made a huge difference. Huge. Do you still get powder spillage? Yes. Do you still have primers flip upside down here and there? Yes. The thing with a Dylan is you have to find your rhythm. And once you find that rhythm, it will run correctly for you. But you have to find your rhythm, and you have to know to pay attention as you're going along. I can run about 1,000 rounds off that press pretty quickly and still pay attention to what's going on. And that's with having primer tubes preloaded and all the rest of it. I can still run about 1,000 rounds off that press pretty fast. I mean, yeah, we're talking, you know, a few hours, because I'm not trying to go super, super quick. I'm not trying to burn 1,000 rounds in an hour. You know, we're talking 2.5, 3 hours. But that's with having primer tubes loaded up. That's with having everything's ready, kind of set to go, and just take my time and make sure I'm going smooth with it. And I'm okay with that. That's for me. That's plenty, man. You know, within a few hours, that's plenty.
Starting to sound like a commercial. You know, become one with your Dylan, and you know,
dude, you have. That's the thing.
Part
Yeah.
of the movement,
Yeah.
synchronized.
It's not just. It's not
If
just.
You
it's
may not be man enough to handle it.
It's not just a Dylan. It's any press.
It's any press. No, but I think the Dylan is it definitely it's
The
definitely
Dylans are just pickier.
yeah, they are pickier. But once you get it going, man, jeez.
But any press you
machine.
run, you've got to pay attention to what you're doing. You got to get that rhythm going, man. Once you get the rhythm going, you're good. But yeah, Dylans are super, super picky. And Dylans are like a woman, man. They're like a woman. They're beyond fucking picky. They're beyond fucking bitchy. And they're either going to be fantastic and give you everything you want, or they give you a huge pain in the fucking ass and piss you the fuck off left, right, and center. And that's
now,
exactly
does it go back
man.
and forth, or do you get a good one or a bad one?
Yeah, dude, they go back and forth. Sometimes
Jesus. I don't know if it's worth all that.
Sometimes you're going to think they're the greatest thing on fucking sliced fucking bread, greatest thing on earth, do everything you want to do. Like, they're going to sit there, get on their fucking knees, give you the blowjob out of your dreams. Other days, they're going to sit there and go, nope, we're going to shove it right up your rear end, and you're not going to like what we're giving you.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to outright pay for that. Especially a premium.
You got one in your house.
That's funny.
It's just not called Dylan. It's called something else, but you got one in your house.
Can I get on Jamie for a second? Not get on him, but ask him about something.
Yeah, man.
I think I heard you say this on Hillbillies, but something about a bumper sticker that said racing Hondas, there's the equivalent of shooting 22 or something.
No, that ain't.
How did that go? Or was that not you?
My son had a T-shirt that said "Racing Hondas is like Special Olympics."
Okay. All right.
Even
Yeah, I
if
got a
you,
good laugh out of that, man. I really did. But I just wanted to argue a little bit and say, hey, man, racing's racing. That's all. It's like riding's riding. You know, you can still have fun on a moped. It's not as cool, but when nobody's looking, you still have fun.
just make sure nobody's looking, man.
Right.
I mean,
No,
certain
I got a
things.
good laugh out of that when you said that. I was like, oh my goodness,
They're
what?
all talking about this 22 bench rest competition stuff they're doing, and I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. Every time I hear y'all talking about that, I can't help but think about that T-shirt my son had. Said, "Racing Hondas is like Special Olympics. Even if you win, you're still retarded."
It makes me laugh. For the record, there is some Hondas out there that have destroyed like Lamborghinis and stuff, but they're not stock, they're not standard, none of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I see it from all around the angles, and it's funny. It's fun coming from a previous Honda owner. It's funny.
Well, you can apply that to the same thing as reloading your own ammunition too, man. I mean, I can take let's say, let's go big. How about a 1968 Dodge Charger with the Hemi? We can build that thing up, and your Lamborghini or no Honda will touch it in a quarter of a mile. A V8 Chevy might. I doubt it. Ford probably could. Yeah. And I don't want to make anybody mad. I'm just, if shooting 22s is your thing, that's cool. And if racing Hondas is your thing, okay, go for it. We're in America. We're allowed to decide what we do with our time, money, and effort. But the thing about 22 bench rest, and I told the guys last night, is you're still dependent on, you can buy the best gun in the world, but you're still dependent on somebody making rimfire ammunition. You have no control over it. You can't tailor it to your gun. You're at the mercy of.
Well, and we see this a lot, Jamie, where they're out there looking for specific lots because this lot shot better than this lot and this, that, the other. How many times are you actually going to go out there and try to find certain lots? You're going to kill yourself trying to find all these lots.
You just have to buy a large amount, like literally buy a pallet at a time.
It shot just a hair better than this one, or a shot just a lot better than this one. And how much are you going to spend on that? It's 22. Like, yeah, I get it. You want to get out and you want to have fun and shoot, but are you really saving money when you end up having to spend so much to get a certain lot or do this or do that?
Let's find out. What would you say?
So you guys against like lightweight boxing too? It's all got to be heavyweights.
No, man.
Bunch of lightweightist around here. 22's done some good work in this country.
No, I mean, look, man. Myself and Jamie, we're big on another caliber. And we got someone here actually with us who picked something up, man. I don't know if he's gonna like me sharing this or not sharing this, but we're gonna throw up a little picture here because it's a cool picture. You can talk about it if you want to talk about it. If not, we can walk away from it. But it's a cool picture, and I think people would like to see it. So can I share this picture, Jamie?
Yeah, man.
All right. So we'll go ahead and share this picture, and we'll show this to you guys. So always see this is Jamie, folks, and look at this bad boy right here. And for you folks out there that don't know what that is a beautiful Model 29. It's a very fitting thing for my good buddy, my good brother. So there's that.
You guys do your deals at the Ultra Beauty store? That's probably a good cover.
We were actually at Chick-fil-A, dude.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Getting some of that beard product stuff, weren't you?
Absolutely.
Dude, anytime we can stop and get some beard products, we're all about beard products. You got to know that.
There's bull. I was looking some stuff up, and I've always liked 22 mini mags. Ely Target and CCI mini mags are now the same price for a box of 50. Oh, actually, that's a box of 100 CCI mini mags for $10. The Ely Target is $10 for 50.
I think 22 is still a hell of a lot cheaper. I know in that show, you guys, somebody bring up somebody I'm unaware of or unfamiliar with said it's around the same price. I mean, maybe if you're hunting down specific lots or you're in competition, specialty ammo, something along those lines. But I think just the average shooter going out to tinker with, shooting some cans or whatever the case is with a 22, I would say, there's still a drastic difference between that and 5.56 or anything else as far as just plinking around. It's still, I would argue, the most affordable practical round to play with. I guess you jump up to 9mm probably after that, but cost wise, just by dollar amounts, in my opinion. So I don't know. I'm sure there's some high end 22 out there, but
that's more
regular
more
stuff.
than a box of 9mm, bud. By about $5. I know, it's shocking.
Is that a higher end brand or something? Or
that's Lapua Center X.
I'm not familiar with it at all. I don't know if that's a higher end ammo or normal ammo, or what's a box of Winchester?
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, Walter, you get screwed over, man, big time.
Federal.
It's ridiculous. The whole ammo tax BS and all the rest of it. It's just freaking ridiculous, man. And if you guys didn't know or didn't see, they are working on a bill to try and make it where reloading is taxable and all the rest of it, and make it harder for us reloaders. That is in the works. So pay attention. Be aware of what's going on. If you haven't already seen that, go look it up. But there is a bill out there where they're trying to screw over us reloaders and make it where it's basically almost impossible for us to do so.
Rob, you want 40 grain or 36 grain for your Winchester?
Whatever, 36, 40, it's fine. Just basically the standard stuff. See, I got a 36 grain 333 box, but I can't find the receipt. Usually I
This
keep
is
my receipt.
subsonic.
Yeah, TJ, Lapua, anything is expensive. Lapua, doesn't matter if it's just brass or what it is. Lapua is always ridiculous.
Subsonic, which is a fairly new thing. Because of suppressors. But Winchester subsonic 45 grain, 1,090 feet per second. You can get a 1,400 round case for under 120 bean sprouts. That's about 2 cents each. Whereas at $16.95, let's get the calculator up. Do we have a calculator on this computer? Here we go.
You got an up arrow, right?
No, I got a mouse.
You got a mouse.
Yeah. Lapua is 34 cents each for those Center X.
Yeah, so there's a big difference there versus 2
That's
cents.
That's about what I'm spending. Well, I won't say that. I'm not spending a whole lot more than that to shoot 6.5 Creedmoor. Hand loading them myself.
You know, there's always the big debate, and we've talked about this before, the big debate about are you actually saving money when you reload? To some degree, yes. But the biggest thing that you're getting out of it is you're getting to design the load for your gun, for your barrel, and get the most accuracy you can get. That's the big difference. It's not simply trying to save money. You're getting the better accuracy because you're designing it for your barrel, for your gun. That's what you got to bear in mind. It's not always just about saving money. Are you technically saving money? Yeah, to some extent, you may be. All depends on what you're shooting, how much you shoot. There's a lot of different factors that come into play. But yeah, you could potentially be saving some money. But end of the day, more than likely, probably not. Because a lot of us shoot quite a bit. So you don't really end up saving, but you get better accuracy, you get better results because you're taking the time and designing it for your gun. You know what's going into it versus what you're just getting a piece of factory ammo. You don't know what's going into that factory ammunition. And if you go to the extreme levels that some of us do, some of us cast, some of us powder coat and do our own bullets from scratch and all the rest of it, you have a whole nother level. You're fully invested from the very beginning to the very end.
I'd kind of argue 22 is probably a practical way to getting into shooting competition.
I'm kind of curious as to what that bill that you talked about, Scotsman, what's it entail?
My 6.5?
No, I'm talking about the bill that you said. There's a bill, something about reloading.
Oh, the bill? Yeah, there's a bill out there right now that they're trying to basically make it almost impossible for you to get components. They basically want you to. They're trying to pass a bill where you're going to have to do a background check to buy components. So if you want to reload,
is this a federal law or is this a state law? What are you talking about?
Right now, so there's a couple of states that are trying to pass it. Illinois is one, and there's a couple others, California, New Jersey, but they're also trying to make it a federal law.
You're screwed, Mario. New Jersey or California.
I don't remember who it is who tried to introduce it as a federal law, but there is someone out there who's trying to introduce it as a federal law. But essentially, what it is you end up having to do background checks for basically any kind of reloading component that you want to buy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
That's no big deal. Just keep your carry permit up to date. That's a walking, talking, instant background check pass.
In some states, not all. In some states, not all. Yep. It's definitely good to have because a lot of states do a lot of that. But just remember, it's not
Yeah,
all.
and I usually like for my birthday, I usually stock up because Midway does the whole birthday thing. I usually stock up a lot during that
Dude,
time, but yeah,
I went to go do that last year and they didn't have diddly fucking squat.
really.
Oh, dude, I was so pissed. I went to go fucking try and buy something with my birthday discount. They didn't have nothing in stock that I wanted. Nothing. Everything was out of fucking stock.
They end up passing that bill. There's a good chance there's going to be some type of tax or some shit where they're going to charge you to run the background check and all that shit too. So
Oh yeah,
kind of like how they did in New York with ammo.
That's part of it is trying to throw a tax on top of it.
God, can you imagine? Then all of a sudden, pretty much everybody has to apply for kind of like a FFL, where that's the only way you can kind of bypass it. But in many ways, you can't because you're still reporting it. It's kind of crazy, man. Like it's getting out of hand.
Let's just get rid of a myth of that. If you have an FFL, you technically don't have to report or do this or do that. Now, even if you have an FFL, they're still going to know everything that's coming in and going out. There's even if you're your own FFL and buying something for yourself through your own FFL, regardless, you still have to file paperwork. You have to go through the background check of it. No, but you're still filing paperwork that says it's yours and going through this and going through that. So there's still that on top of it.
Yeah,
So
because
even if
the company you're buying it from is the one this got that record, like purchase of sale record or something.
they got the purchase
They
of sale,
found out you didn't even know how to reload. Like if you've ever bought a press or made a video of reloading, then they're going to tax you just for knowing, and they might even just take that segment right out your brain.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You know, we've said it for years. Be careful what you put online, stuff like that. But you know, a lot of us that reload, we've all done videos over the years and all the rest of it. But it's just getting stupid, man. They're getting to the point where they openly, I mean, they've openly told us for years they didn't want you to have anything, but now they're getting to the point where they're so bold to just say, hey, we're going to try and take everything. We're going to take your components. We're going to take this. We're going to take that. They're getting to that point where they're openly bold enough to say, hey, we're coming for it.
I don't think they can outright take it, but they tax the shit out of it, though.
Well, yeah. And the thing of it is they're openly bold enough to say they're coming for it, but none of them are openly bold enough to actually come and face us. So just bear that in mind. So they're openly bold enough to say they want to take it, but I don't see them coming to my front door. They're going to send someone else to my front door, and regardless of who comes to the front door, it ain't going to end well.
It's always good to avoid problems at your front door.
You just got to remember, I got a lot of woods behind me, and out here, that's where problems go.
Yeah, but in some cases, if the problem's at your front door, you kind of already lost. And I get into details or whatever, but you know, it's best to avoid them at your door to begin with.
Again, I'm not inviting it, but they show up. They're the ones inviting the problem, not me. Yep. Texican, you're 100%, brother. That's why I own more than one 29, because whenever that comes a knocking, that 29 is going to work. There's a reason we always say know your limitations. Don't be coming knocking on my door. Know your limitations.
Well, I think we're almost at that time, Scotsman. Want to go
Yeah,
around the room?
Yeah, we're definitely getting there. Let's see.
Yeah, I think I want a 25 next, man.
Yeah. So you want a 25. I want a 57.
Yeah.
I came across one a couple weeks ago, and the starting price was okay. Midway through, I'm like, dude, that's just going to skyrocket, and there's no way in hell I can afford it. Like the price was just getting stupid. And they still had like 6 days left on it or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, there's just no way, because I just know where this price is going, and it's just going through the roof.
You guys are like rookie numbers, 25, 57. I still want a 500.
I have no desire for a 500, man.
It's too new, man.
Oh, but once I have a 500 and you've shot it.
No, see,
I've got one.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I've shot one before.
I shot it. I'm not crazy about it, to be honest with you.
No, man.
I'm not crazy about it.
I would much rather just shoot a 29 or you know.
It's kind of like what's the yeah, I mean, like it's like, what's the point of having
You're
a
breaking
Desert
up.
Eagle? I don't get it.
Yeah, he's roboting on mine.
Yeah, like Bull says, it's too big of a handgun. Needs wheels. It's a hand cannon. That's a fact.
Yeah, no, I mean it's
not as bad as you think.
No, it's not hard to shoot. It's just number one, like you said, Jamie, it's too new. I like the old stuff, just like you. I like it nice and old. I prefer old school bluing. That's just me. Do I have a couple that are nickel and stainless? Yeah, I do. Are they old? Yes. And that's the only reason I have them is because they're old, they're nickel and stainless, and they still shoot awesome. They look awesome. But I much rather have an old school blue. I really don't like the new stuff. It just does not compare. When you throw a good set of old school wood grips in there and you put that with that blue in, it's just freaking purty, man. It's just purty. And you can't compare that to a 500. 500 has nothing on an old school Smith when it comes to a 29, a 19, a 28, a 27, a 57, anything along those lines. It has got nothing close to it.
Caliber, stopping power.
Does it look as good? Fuck no.
So did you have like a Scotsman, Dirty Harry or Rambo or something over there, or what? I mean, what got you onto these bigger calibers?
Dude, I've brought this up before in the past, but when I first came here, I'd shot a couple guns in the past when I was younger, but not many, because back home again, you really couldn't have a whole lot. So I only shot what was available on the farm when I worked on the farm, which was mostly a shotgun. There was a couple of handguns around, but I basically shot the shotgun. so I really didn't have a ton of experience with guns when I came here. And the first gun that I got my hands on when I came here was an old school Ruger in 44 Magnum. And I bought that for a hell of a deal. And I got some stupid ass fucking reloads with it. I don't know what was in it. I go out to shoot it, and I got 4.5 foot, 5 foot flames come out in front of the pistol.
And he started giggling, and it was over from there.
Well, the guy that I was shooting with, he's like, "Hey, you gotta stop and come look at this." And I stop and I go let him shoot it. I see that 4.5, 5 foot flame, and yeah, I giggled. And dude, I've been a fan of it ever since. I love 44 Magnum. 44 Magnum is my.
You didn't have any movies as a child, kind of in.
Oh, dude,
I've or anything like that.
I've always been a big Dirty Harry fan. That's no secret by any means. I love Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry and me have the same kind of attitude. It's just how it goes. Yeah, man. Dirty Harry's where it's at, man. Just like with the, Brown 92. People know I love the Brown 92. I love the Brown 92 for multiple reasons. You got Die Hard, you got Lethal Weapon, and it's just a classic pistol, and it runs. I've gone up against Glock owners who threw it out there constantly about, oh, my Glocks will run better than anything. Okay, well, take your piece of shit Glock and throw it in the fucking snow like I'm throwing my $1,000 Beretta in the snow. And they sit there and go, oh, hell no, I ain't doing that. Then it ain't going to fucking run like my Beretta, will it? Because I'm willing to throw it in the snow, but your bitch ass ain't. Yeah, I've put many people in their place when it comes to guns over the years. Glocks, whatever. I've done it.
Well,
I've thrown my Beretta in the snow. I've picked it up, shot it, ran just fine. They were not willing to throw their Glock in the snow and prove it that it would run.
Jamie got one of them childhood inspirational guns, or Allen.
Yeah, Walter, get it, man, get it, Dirty Harry, brother. Hell yeah.
What was it? Yosemite Sam or whatever I think it was with Bugs Bunny. Was that no, Elmer Fudd? Elmer Fudd running around with shotgun and stuff.
Yosemite Sam's right. You got that right. He's got 2 6-shooters and a double barrel Coach gun. He's my hero.
All right, we'll start going through the room. We're definitely getting to that time now. It was a good chat. We had lots of good people out there, lots of good comments out there. Do really appreciate it. Everyone out there in the side chat, for sure. With that, we'll start with you, Rob. What you got going on, man?
Not a damn thing. Got cookies in the oven, actually, at the moment. But besides that, not much. Thanks for joining us. Eat a salad. Don't be a punk. Do not handicap. Stay out of the handicap spots. Doesn't matter if you're just going to be a minute. People that double park should get throat punched. I could go on and on. Yeah, don't be one of them people. We'll catch you next time.
Awesome. Always appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. Jamie, what you got going on, man?
I guess I need to do a video, man. But other than that, Friday nights at 8 o'clock, Georgia Shooting Connection. I'm going to be crazy busy for the next couple of weeks. I've got a lot of loading to do. Need to load up some 44 stuff. Other than that, man, thanks for having me. Got to load some 357 and 38s as well. Probably going to buy 9mm. I can't stand reloading 9mm, and I don't know why. But anyway, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate y'all putting up with me. Let me hang out with y'all.
I always appreciate you being here, brother. I'm glad you got the 29 in hand. It makes me happy. I'm very happy. Makes me very happy to see that. I'm sorry I cost you $100. I'll get you squared away.
We'll survive.
But no, we got lots of good conversation going on, folks. Yeah, we don't do salads, Walter. We do meat around here. We only have one guy that talks about salads. We're not a huge fan, but he shows up every week, so we let him show up. Yeah, no, eat you some meat, shoot some 44. If you're not big bore, get big bore. Big bore is the way to go. That's how it is. Big bore is life. With that being said, Alan, please take us out right, brother.
Well, yeah, I'd certainly like to, but I mean, I can't argue with love of the big bore. On my channel, there will be no videos this week as there was last week or the week before or the week before. Unfortunately, I do this thing called work where I basically sell the majority of my life for this fake stuff they call money. But other than that, try to remember occasionally to listen with your ears and not with your mouth. Shut the hell up and listen sometimes. Every now and then, also remember to keep your magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!